Thank you for joining us for this year's Golden Grad virtual celebration. For anyone who may not know me, my name is Wendy Mackey, and I'm the Director of Alumni Relations at Mohawk College, and it's my pleasure to be your MC this morning. Welcome to all of the alumni who've joined us today. I hope you see some familiar faces in your breakout rooms and have a chance to catch up with some old friends. We will have to forego our traditional tour of the college campus again this year. However, there will still be a tour of the Mohawk facilities, but this year we'll be doing it virtually. We would be glad to have you back with us in person as soon as circumstances allow. We want you to always feel welcome and connected to your college. Before we begin, even though we are joining from far and wide, we are virtually gathered at Mohawk College, and it's important for us to remember and to acknowledge that Mohawk College is situated on the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe nations, with lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement, and is currently home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island. Thank you to all of you for being here today. Our programs of speakers and presentations will run for about 45 minutes, and we have reserved a lot of time at the end to give you a chance to connect with your graduating classes in breakout rooms. As well, joining us this morning are members from our Mohawk Executive Group, Ron McCurley, President and CEO, Paul Armstrong, Chief Operating Officer, Siebert Adamson, Vice President, Students, International and Alumni, and from our senior leadership team, Lori Morgan, Chief Marketing and Recruitment Officer. Welcome to everyone. For the alumni joining us today, you'll be entered into a draw to win a Mohawk College alumni sweater from the campus bookstore. That contest winner will be announced on Monday, November 8th, and we will contact you. Good luck to everyone. Now, before we hear from some of our guest speakers, we'd like to take you on a trip down memory lane with a short video. We ask that you please mute your microphones and turn off your cameras while the video is streaming. Well, I hope that brought back some fond memories of your time at Mohawk. I'd now like to introduce the President and CEO of Mohawk College and the Mohawk College Foundation, Ron McCurley.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks, Wendy, very much for getting us started. And thank you, everyone, for joining the 2021 Golden Grad virtual celebration. Some of those early pictures in black and white remind me when my sons were little. I was showing them some pictures. They were born in the 80s, and they looked at these black and white photos and asked me if I grew up in a time without color. So I thought that was an interesting question. Well, the video offered us a fun trip down memory lane. Time has a way of changing things, doesn't it? As proof for that statement, we don't need to really look any further than the past 18 months. In that time, we've changed the way we gather and support one another. We've changed how we work, and we've changed how we teach here at Mohawk College. It feels like we're nearly out of the worst of the pandemic now, and those things will likely change again. Although I don't expect they'll ever go right back to how things were before the pandemic started. The pandemic also reminds us that about what's really important in our lives. You know, our loved ones, our family and friends, our physical and mental health, our values, and our community, the people we know and those that we don't know yet. I'm very proud of how Mohawk College has operated throughout the course of the pandemic. Our faculty and staff adjusted to this crisis with great innovation and determination to keep students on track to graduate and to pursue their careers. And I'm even more proud of how our college responded as a community. This included providing additional supports for students, including increased mental health and financial aid. There were additional supports for employees, and there was increased outreach into the community from staff, from students, and from many of our alumni. We heard many stories about Mohawk alumni responding to the crisis in exceptional ways to help people at a time when everyone could use an extra hand or a kind gesture. And it's really a proud moment for us when someone is making a positive impact in our community and they choose to indicate that they're a Mohawk grad. You, our alumni, are an important part of the Mohawk community. I hope your involvement today is a sign that you feel the same way. This is the time of year when students visit Mohawk campuses and open house events, and it helps them choose a college. They want to know that the education they'll receive here is worth their time and effort. And I expect it's a time when your ears are burning because we talk about you a lot. Our alumni, you, are the living proof of the value of a Mohawk College education. We tell students about your achievements. We talk about your contributions. We celebrate your successes. When you see our buildings, when they see them, they know that we have state-of-the-art facilities. They meet our faculty and they can tell they'll receive exceptional instruction. And when we tell them your stories, they understand that Mohawk College has a tradition of excellence. Your careers and your achievements have cleared a path for the students who will follow in your footsteps as a Mohawk alumni. It's a tradition that began 54 years ago, and today we are very fortunate to be joined by some of our early graduates from 1967 to 1970. Welcome in particular to the class of 1971, our Golden Grads. Welcome to you all this morning. And in a special way, welcome back to those people who walked across the convocation stage 50 years ago. The top song on the Billboard charts that year was Joy to the World by Three Dog Night. Bill Davis was elected as Ontario's premier, and believe it or not, that was the year that internet-based email was first invented. And that makes you the first real digital generation. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, for letting us mark this milestone with you. On behalf of Mohawk College, I'd like to sincerely congratulate you on all that you have achieved, and I wish you continued success. As Wendy mentioned earlier, we've been forced to replace an in-person tour of our campus with a virtual tour. So let's take a few minutes to virtually wander the halls of Mohawk's campuses together. We'd ask again that you please mute your microphone, turn off your camera during this video, and then please note that some of these clips in the video were filmed prior to COVID-19. So if you see the lack of protective equipment, you'll understand why. Enjoy, everyone. Okay, well, welcome back. If you haven't visited us recently, I'm guessing the college looked a bit different to many of you in that video. The halls have been quieter over the past 18 months, but we are looking forward to a full return of the hustle and bustle of students in the winter semester. That full student experience like the one you had 50 years ago is something we want every Mohawk student to experience and to enjoy. Well, once again, thank you very much for being with us today, and thank you for your lifelong connection to Mohawk College. I'd now like to call upon Kat Clark, Chair of the Mohawk College Alumni Advisory Council, to say a few words. Kat?
Thank you so much, Ron. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for being here today. On behalf of the Alumni Council, we just want to pass along our gratitude to all the graduates and guests who have joined us today. I know it's a Saturday morning and we appreciate so much you taking time out of your day to be with us. For us, being here today really is a sign that you feel that connection to Mohawk College and to each other. And for that, we are so grateful. If you've just recently reconnected with the college, we hope that you stay in touch with us moving forward. And if you'd like to find out more about any of the alumni services or programs, please don't hesitate to ask. We are more than happy to discuss all of the wonderful options and things going on at the college in ways that you can stay connected. On behalf of the Alumni Association, congratulations to the class of 1971. And thank you once again for joining us. We are so excited to celebrate your 50th anniversary with you today. As the morning moves on, we're looking forward to hearing where your path has taken you since you left Mohawk. And as Ron indicated, your successes and achievements are inspirations to the Mohawk students who are following in your footsteps. And we are so excited to share your stories. And I can say personally, when I hear the successes of a fellow Mohawk grad, it gives me such honor and such pride and makes me so incredibly proud to be an alumnus of such a great college. All of us in the Alumni Association wish you continued success in all aspects of your life. And now I'd like to take a moment to turn things over to Mohawk College Chief Operating Officer, Paul Armstrong, who will take over the screen.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Kat, and welcome to everyone this morning. It's great to see new faces, but it's really nice to also see a number of familiar faces. So thank you for joining and being with us. And a very special welcome to the class of 1971. Just to give you a bit more of a trip down memory lane, just to let you know, there were 620 graduates from Mohawk in 1971, and we're proud to have 46 of them with us today. While they and all of us are dealing with a pandemic these days, back then, this group had different issues to deal with. The Cold War was heating up, and the wars in Vietnam and Cambodia were in the news daily. On the positive side, both Ontario Place and Disney World opened that year. It was also the year that the first Starbucks opened in Seattle. Carole King launched her career with You've Got a Friend, playing on radios everywhere. And in case you didn't know, she was just added to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last week. A personal favorite of mine, The Who, released Baba O'Reilly, and the Doors were playing Riders on the Storm, but unfortunately and sadly, that was also the year that lead singer Jim Morrison died. That was the first time that we saw Clint Eastwood as Dirty Harry. Flip Wilson kept us laughing, and Marcus Welby, MD, was the 70s version of Grey's Anatomy. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Chicago Blackhawks for the Stanley Cup Champions title, and the Calgary Stampeders beat the Toronto Argos for the Grey Cup Champions title. And believe it or not, the Pittsburgh Pirates won the World Series. So how's that for some more memories, class of 1971? The other memories that we really want to celebrate and to recognize are the members of that graduating class. So now we're going to do that. I will read the names and we'll have your pictures and some information come up on the screen, and sit back and enjoy and remember your time, your graduation from Mohawk College. So starting from the Architectural Technology program, Colin Gage. Don Harrington, Doug Mays. From Business Administration, David Best. Alumni of Distinction Award recipient, Thomas Cochran. Dennis Hobbs, Peter Landoni. From Business Secretarial, Betty Chow, Ni Hu, and Marlene Johns, Ni Gedeon. From Civil Engineering Technician, Brian Book. From Computer Systems Technology, Doug Brussy, Dan Jevons, Pete Keber, Liz Palmieri, Nee Young. From data processing, Thomas Lawn, Adriana Lenders. From early childhood education, Rebecca James, Diane Lawn, Nee Morrison, Beverly McWhirter, and past chair of the Alumni Association Board, Sandy Richardson, Nee Cormani. From electronics technician, Norm McDonald. From engineering technology chemical, Paul Goodwin, Andrew Kellner, Adrian Markoyak. From engineering technology civil, Wayne Silvestre Williams, Alan Wilkins. From engineering technology control systems, Kent Ing. From engineering technology electronics, Len DeBrookie, Ronald Grigsby. From engineering technology metallurgical, Robert Bull. From engineering technology textile, Brian Anderson, Graham Bileby. From industrial management technology, Alan Dickinson and Ted Woods. From industrial technician, John Mazaros, Alfred Olson. From insurance administration, Brian Knott, Gary Sawchuk. From marketing, Mark Greenwood, John Hammer, Joseph Truscott. From mechanical drafting technician, Paul Bennett, Richard Delaney, and Alumni of Distinction Award recipient, John Marshall, and Bruce Street. And finally, from social services, Elsk de Visaybergen. So congratulations once again to the class of 1971. Great memories and great recognition of your time at Mohawk. Hopefully it brought back some memories for you of your time and your convocation. Now I would like to turn the microphone back to Wendy Mackey to guide us through the next part of our event. Wendy?
Thank you, Paul. It was great to see all of those photos. What a flashback. There have been a number of 1971 pop culture references mentioned this morning. And if you like those references, there's more to come because we're going to spend the next few minutes exercising your memories with 1970s trivia. So here's where you get to get in on the action. I will read a trivia question that will show up on your screen. A number of answers of options will be shown. You review the options and choose the one you want by clicking on it. And once you click on the answer, then you click the blue submit button. It's just as simple as that. So we're going to do a trial run just to get everybody comfortable and familiar. So our first trial question, which graduating class is celebrating their 50th anniversary today? 1970, 1972, 1971, or 1969? Wonderful. All right. We see that everyone chose the class of 1971. Awesome. So now we'll move on to our 12 trivia questions. Number 1. In what year did the band Teenage Head release their first single, Picture My Face? Was it 1962, 1978, 1973, or 1977? And the answer is 1978. Great job. We'll move on to question number 2. What was the name of the mayor in Hamilton in 1970? John McDonald, Vince Agro, James Hamilton, or Victor Copps? And the answer is Victor Copps. Question 3. What year did the Saltfleet campus, known today as the Marshall School of Skills and Trades and Apprenticeship, open its doors in Stony Creek? 1968, 1971, 1970, or 1974? And the answer is 1970. Question 4. What year did Princess Anne visit Mohawk College? Was it 1974, 1976, 1982, or 1991? And the answer is 1974. We'll move on to question 5, our first true and false of the day. True or false, in 1971, the president of the Students' Representative Council, the SRC at that time, was Colin Gage. And the answer is true. And we're actually very excited to have Colin here with us today. Our next true and false, number 6. By the mid-70s, Mohawk had more than 18,000 full-time and part-time students and a staff team of 600. Great. And the answer is true. Mohawk was growing at a fast pace, even back in the 70s. Number 7. What year did Montreal, Quebec host the Winter Olympics? Was it 1976, 1987, 1985, or 1974? And our answer for question 7 is 1976 for the Winter Olympics in Montreal. Question 8. Which of the following was not a Canadian invention? The paint roller, peanut butter, the electric wheelchair, or the cheese slicer? Okay, and the answer is D, the cheese slicer. The cheese slicer is actually a Norwegian invention. So number 9. What does Red Green of the Red Green Show refer to as the handyman's secret weapon? Super glue, intelligence, pocket knife, or duct tape? Everyone's leading to the same answer here. And I'm happy to say answer D, duct tape. And we're happy to have Sandy Richardson as one of our 1971 grads. And Sandy was the producer on the Red Green Show for a number of years. Number 10, what 1970s toy would tell you things like, it is certain, and reply, Hazy, try again? Was it See and Say, the Magic 8 Ball, Light Bright, or Perfection? And our answer is B, the Magic 8 Ball. Moving on to our second last question. Number 11, name the most produced car in the world in 1972. The Volkswagen Beetle, the AMC Hornet, the Pontiac Astor, or the Ford Mustang? And we're answer A, the Volkswagen Beetle was the most produced car in 1972. And number 12, our last question of the day. After 7 years of planning, in what year did Walt Disney World, Orlando, Florida open? Was it 1960, 1965, 1972, or 1971? And our answer for number 12 is D, 1971, when Walt Disney World in Orlando opened its doors. Thanks to everyone for participating. It's so fun to look back at our youthful years, isn't it? How time has changed. I know I'll be revisiting 1971 for the rest of the day with all those questions in my mind. We in Alumni Relations would like to build on the experience of today's event. We'd like to keep in touch with you and help you to keep in touch with each other and Mohawk College. If you find that you'd like to connect further with each other, the alumni team would be more than happy to help you facilitate this. Just earlier this year in October, the alumni team supported a group of 1970 and 1971 textile grads who coordinated their own in-person reunion. So if you'd like to do something similar, please contact us at alumni@mohawkcollege.ca and we'd be more than happy to assist you. If we have your current addresses, you'll be receiving the In Touch magazine. And if you've updated through email, you will receive our monthly e-newsletter, which includes alumni benefits, alumni stories, and invitations to events like this. Follow us on social media and visit the alumni webpage for more information about our programs and services. I would like to thank all of our guest speakers today, President Ron McCurley, Chair of the Alumni Council, Kat Clark, and Mohawk Chief Operating Officer, Paul Armstrong. And I would like to again thank all of you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again sometime soon.